everyone. Our topic of discussion for today is scarification and stratification of plantation and fruit crops. So today आज हमारे साथ में है अर्चित. Archit, can you just introduce yourself?
So, hello, I'm Archit Lahiri. I'm currently pursuing BSc Agriculture in the LPU, the lovely professional university, and today we will be speaking about an analysis on scarification and stratification for fruit and plantation crops.
Yeah. So as guys, we are clear about, we are going to discuss about scarification and stratification. So if you are moving further, so first of all, I would like to know about what is scarification and stratification.
So both of these are processes that we use so that we can ensure proper propagation, so that so that we can ensure proper germination in seeds. In this situation, seeds for plantation and fruit crops. What stratification does is it kind of changes the environment in which the seed is supposed to grow, so as to make sure that the seed is able to kind of break out of its state of dormancy. And what scarification does is it breaks or scars and somehow cuts the seed coat, which would be harder in this situation than what it is supposed to be, so that water or air can enter, making the seed be able to germinate easier.
Okay, so now I know about scarification and stratification. Since both these terminologies sounds exactly the same, so I would like to know about what is the basic difference between these two topics, these two terminologies.
The basic difference would be in what exactly is the process, what we are affecting. In scarification, we are affecting the seed itself or the seed coat.
So we are performing at the seed in scarification.
Yes, that is, we are performing the action on the seeds.
Okay.
Yes, but like directly on the seeds. But for stratification, we don't perform the activity directly on the seeds. What we do is we change the environment. We perform our activity, our processes mainly on the environment, and we let that changed environment influence the seed so that it would grow, so that it would germinate faster.
Okay. So Archit, tell us what is the potential benefit of scarification or stratification?
Both of these essentially ensure so that that the seeds are able to germinate. Okay, so the main advantage of this would, both of these would be to make sure that there is a higher germination percentage, and getting higher germination percentage would mean there is a higher efficiency. We get a higher cost to benefit ratio, benefit to cost ratio, meaning that a higher number of seeds would germinate into plants and provide us with more produce for products.
Since the seeds are dormant, so there are not any certainty that all the seeds are going to germinate. So there comes scarification and stratification that ensures the overall good percentage of germination, right?
Yes.
So Archit, can you tell us, is there any alternative of scarification or stratification?
Well, considering that scarification and stratification is primarily done when there is a state of dormancy, there isn't really. We can just hope that we can just select better seeds. We just have to try to select better seeds. That would be the only alternative to this stratification or scarification, because these are primarily made for that purpose. So there isn't an alternative to them.
So Archit, since we're discussing about scarification, so are there any methods in scarification, or it's like just scarification has only the simple set of rules? Or I would like to know about, like, there are some methods, 2 to 3 or 4 methods.
There are different type of methods on basis of what you are using for scarification. There's the physical method, where you would simply take the seed and you would rub it against some rough surface. For example, you would rub it against sanding paper, the ones that we use.
Can we use a knife just to?
Yeah, we can, but that would be a bit more tough. You would have to be careful with the knife so that you don't cut too much.
And sandpaper is safe option, that's
comparatively, yes, it is. So that's physical. There's the chemical method. You can use chemicals. You can just dip it in chemicals of not very high concentration for a very short period of time, and you can take it out.
Okay.
That would weaken or
So
soften the
Archit,
seed.
talking about the chemicals, I would like to know, but since we are talking about the chemicals, so what kind of chemicals we are going to use? And if you are using any kind of chemicals, is it going to affect any kind of chemical composition of seeds? Or are there any side effects of using chemicals? Or we are just using the chemical that is safe?
No, there won't be any side effects like that.
So what type of chemicals do we use?
So we would generally use concentrated sulfuric acid
Mm.
or concentrated hydrochloric acid and nitric acid, potassium nitrates, etc. We generally use it in like a 1:2 ratio, that is 1 for seeds and 2 for acid.
Okay.
And depending on what type of seed you are taking, the duration for which it is kept can range from 6 minutes to 6
Also
hours.
varying upon different kind of chemicals at different time durations, right?
Yes, exactly. It would differ according to what concentration you are taking and what chemical you are taking.
Okay.
It would change time from 6 minutes to 6 hours. After that, the seeds are taken from that acid and it's rinsed in clear water, and then
To
they
make
are
sure
ready
the
for planting.
chemicals are washed away.
Exactly. So that should also answer your questions, because we wash it away with water after taking it out. There should not be any side effects if they are not kept for a longer period of time than what is required.
So moving further, I would like to know about the scarification and stratification. Is there any advantage in our economy, global economy, or just economy for our country, India?
There is. Look, before as the age increases, like we enter an age of like where people are increasing at a rapid rate, we need more production of
Okay.
food.
Yeah.
But
Since the normal seeds are not
since
able
the
to meet the
normal-
demand. Yeah.
Yes. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that we can increase the germination percentage at least.
Okay.
This would not be a problem if it was naturally grown. For example, in olden times, the seed would just fall on the ground and it would grow. In those cases, dormancy does not set in very easily, so the germination percentage would not that big of a deal. But now that we are breeding seeds and we are selling them, dormancy is a relevant issue.
Okay.
So to remove this issue and to make sure that we get a higher germination percentage, therefore leading to a higher production in food, stratification and scarification are very important.
Okay. Since we have discussed the word dormancy, I would like to know about its exact meaning. What is dormancy, and is there any benefit of dormancy in plantation crops or fruit crops?
Dormancy, the term essentially means that the seed, even if it is getting favorable conditions, like favorable environmental conditions, it is still unable to germinate.
But why the seed is not able to germinate?
Generally, this happens due to the seed coat. The seed
Okay.
coat gets hardened up than it is normally supposed to be, due to which moisture and air is unable to penetrate them. And moisture and air is what is needed for the endosperm to germinate.
Okay.
Without that, it would not be able to germinate. That is why dormancy happens. Essentially, this is kind of like a safety mechanism, like a survival mechanism of seeds, to make sure it can survive longer periods of time in unfavorable conditions.
Okay. So, as we have discussed about scarification and stratification, its potential advantages, disadvantages. Even we discussed about the advantages of scarification if we are looking for a bigger picture, like in our economy. And we have made this video in such a detailed manner that even a 10-year-old kid will be able to understand this. So by this, we are going to wrap up this session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.